Are live. Hello once again. Welcome to the Lazarium. We're missing one of our people today, Feed Moon. He's off being Irish, so we don't ask much questions about that. Anyway, we're going to run a quick sesh just to keep everyone going in the meantime. We'll be coming on from after the battle, which we survived somehow last session. As always, we have Tolnok playing Damien Krieger just next to me. Prince Wanderer playing Randall Wilder, myself playing Kiesper Zukov, and of course our glorious DM Beta Annihilator, who is ready to rock and roll, I believe.
About.
You ready?
All right.
He's ready.
So, yeah, we finished off with Randall just coming across Andre's dying body as he whispered for comfort and that he could see the light. And he wanted to see Auntie Rochelle. But I guess that is where we'll need to carry on with Randall cradling Andre. I believe Damien was still bleeding on the floor near the four-armed orc, I guess. So yeah, you guys don't know where Damien is. You don't. You haven't seen Sir Steve.
Yeah,
And
everyone just saw me kill the orc and then vanish.
okay. So, currently, Randall, you are not all the way over there. You've managed to meet up, and you are currently cradling Andre. Here, scene is kind of like pouring and nuzzling at your side, worried obviously about you as your distressed state. Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Cry. Just cry for the
Just
hour. I'll roleplay it if you want me to. I'll just sit in the background crying for the whole session. That's how committed I am.
I mean, I'm not sure that'll be an enjoyable session for anyone.
I'm willing to
You know-
watch. I'll watch it.
Oh, jeez. Maybe when we get 1,000 subscribers, we'll just have a Patreon.
Cry.
1 hour session of me crying, and they can all have access to that.
I'll set the price at $2.
And people can buy your tears afterwards as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I tried to save him, but failed. Verana doesn't listen to me.
Verana doesn't love you.
Randall's ran over, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I just start walking off, checking the other dead, because we are on a battlefield, and I'm sure there's a lot of men who are grievously wounded, screaming for help.
Yeah. There's a lot of dead, a lot of wounded. There's obviously the majority of the dead do come from the levies. They made up the most of the army. And obviously these guys aren't soldiers. They are, farmers and
Pub goers.
smith's sons and tavern owners' nephews. They're,
Nephew's a job, is it? Oh, I want to be a nephew when I grow up.
a tavern owner's nephew.
Oh.
Specific. Yeah, no, there's, these guys, they're not trained soldiers, and yet they've still died for the cause. They're still giving up their life to hold off this wildlander horde that came.
Too right, mate.
Obviously, there are still some men at arms that died, especially those that were with Knight Commander Harold, who you saw get killed by obviously Gora. I'm just going to move you away, so there you go. He's there. Oh, there you go. Keith's still alive. He's all good.
Where did you come from, Keith?
Keith was with
He was with me.
Oh,
and then when you led your charge across the battlefield, he just joined in and carried on with you guys.
you got caught up.
Especially because Krieger just disappeared and decided to
I was
go
like, yeah, I basically just like gave the archers, the remaining archers and Keith to Casper, and I was like, okay, bye. Then I left.
You guys go with him because I'm about to 1v1 someone. Like,
This is a one-way street.
yeah, so obviously Keith kind of stumbles in like from amongst the masses that are walking around the dead and the wounded. Duke Three Fingers, he came along with Randall trying to meet up with you guys. Brother Sven's at the moment, he's like wandering around the battlefield giving last rites to the dying. Tried to see what he can do for the living but injured. Sadly for a lot of them, there's not much he can do. He gets a couple of herbs out that can ease their pain while they die. But there's not much. Obviously, there's guys with complete arms like torn off and legs shorn completely in two. There's no saving those guys, not with current medicine is the way it is. Yeah, so Brother Sven's got his work cut out. Along with there are other priests that were with like Knight General Airbard's retinue, and you see them moving around giving last rites and offering like essentially a painkiller, herbal painkiller for the dying.
An aspirin.
Yeah.
I've got an aspirin for your missing arm.
Yes,
Although
just an aspirin.
Aspirin would be a bad idea for that because it lowers blood pressure.
It's essentially this world's. They're giving this world's version of morphine. All right, that's what they're doing.
I'd like some morphine.
Who wouldn't?
I would also like some.
So if any viewers can send some morphine, any doctors out there, you know where to send it.
Anyone with a hookup.
Want to be our sponsor, maybe?
Official morphine supplier to Lazarium. We joke.
Ultra.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to stumble through the aftermath of the battle, taking it all in, kind of meandering my way to Knight General Airbard.
Okay. Yeah. As you do that, Brother Sven, as he's making his rounds, stumbles upon you, Krieger.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like when the wildlings fled, then I kind of set up, and now I'm kind of just sitting on top of the orc, just using him as a chair and just like just surveying the battlefield and kind of catching my breath because I feel like shit.
Yeah, and you likely will for a good couple of days because
Probably.
you've probably right now you're probably like really staunching the bleeding that's like possibly in your shoulder here. We'll say, tell you what, roll me a 1d4 and we'll decide whether the bleeding is in left arm, left leg, right leg.
Groin.
Right leg. So you're like stemming the bleeding, like you're holding the bleeding in, you've tied something around it, but you're still feeling pretty woozy and it's gonna hurt to walk on, especially for a long period of time. But Brother Sven stumbles upon you. Oh, Mr. Damien. Are you all right?
Don't think anyone is all right now.
He looks around. You might be right that there are lots of dead and dying.
Yeah, I'm just glad I'm in the latter and not the former.
Just the dying.
Dying, but not dead.
I've grown quite weary.
What are your injuries?
Is everywhere and everything an injury? just gestures to like how bloodied and like
He like just It's a forceful hand on your like chest. Is like, why don't you lay down? And just he doesn't wait for you to answer, or it just pushes you down.
And I'm just like, I'm okay. Yep, I'm lying down now. Okay.
And he like just starts. He starts just like tearing bits of clothing where the blood's pooling the most. Like, I'm sorry, but this is what I must do. Your clothing will have to be mended later, or just get new ones. And he just starts cutting bits and like looking, and he'll like start, bandaging up properly, and um, he starts like stuffing some herbs into a couple of wounds that look pretty bad. Um, Hopefully this will help you out. You're not going to die on me.
I'm not going to die on him because technically I'm lying on the orc, so I'll die on the orc. That's if we're being technical about
All right,
this.
pedantic. Then he looks at the orc that you're like laying now, like laying on top, like the orc is your stretcher. Um, was this your handiwork?
Somehow, yeah. It's just like barely holding up the dragon tooth dagger in my hand. I guess I gotta thank Lord Philavandrel for this.
Yes, probably. But I wouldn't think someone so small could take out someone so big.
Well, be surprised what the little guy can do.
Well, you almost died for it looking at you, but looked like it was worth it.
I honestly thought we would both go out, so I'm more so surprised I'm still around.
Well, we'll make sure it is for a little bit longer.
That works by me.
And he like pats you on the head after he like finishes the last bandage. The gods clearly have need of you.
Ooh. Yeah, the gods.
Sure.
He's like, yes, the gods.
Well, I should maybe feeling much better. Thank you, Brother Sven. Maybe it's best you there's still plenty of men that could use your aid and assistance.
Yes. Don't get up just yet. And if you do, make sure someone helps you. I will call Keith over here. And he like finds someone and sends them running for the big bald man called Keith.
Oh, I'm Keith. I'm a Cockney. Oh, I'm a Cockney. I'm a Cockney.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, what's all this? Well.
But-
Where did all this blood come from?
Okay, Casper, you've been meandering your way, like stepping over a dying man.
I feel like I'm more like wistful, like Kate Bush. Gliding through the dead.
Like Kate Bush.
Yeah. No, I'm a 6'5" Cascadian man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Train-
there's a small difference.
I am classically trained in Cascadian ballet, though.
That is true. That
Remember.
has been up before. Yeah, the performance at the ball. Dear me. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Cascadian Ballet. You see that like Knight General Eobard's there. His sword is actually bloody. He clearly got involved at the end, like any good general does. But he's currently receiving like loads of like runners are coming in. You kind of overhear as you approach closer that he appears to be getting like death tolls from different units basically. And he's got a scribe there that's tallying up the dead.
I'm just gonna approach. I've got my hammer in my scabbard that's covered in blood. I got my sword in my other scabbard, covered in blood. I've got my whole body. It's covered in blood.
Yeah. Yep. Especially with your helmet, you are a horrible visage.
I just kind of slowly head towards him. My general.
He like holds up a finger as he's receiving a report, and then sends off. What is it you want?
Any word on the cavalry?
Word is they routed the remains. So minimal losses. But still, dead all the same. Knights and elves alike.
Right. Are they coming back?
They are. They're just sending a few scouts out to make sure, check the direction the orcs are going and the wildlanders. Then we know which way to cut them off.
I don't think my men-at-arms are going to be capable of any duties for a while. You may have to send some men over to help defend our side if there's a counter-attack.
No, of course. Most of the army is in that sort of state, but if they mount, we'll remain on this hill for a while. But early reports look like they are heading back towards Grothook.
Are your plans to pursue, or have we made our stand?
Well, Grothook has been recently announced part of Green March, so it is ours to defend. We will have to expunge them from the town at some point.
Okay. Well, there's not much more to report to you, my lord. We committed quite heavily on our side. There's been quite a few losses.
I did see the right flank got hit quite hard. They appeared to, I saw Knight Commander Harold. He has fallen.
Yes, he was hit by one of their elite warriors. I've yet to confirm what happened to him. I thought I saw young Krieger leaping on him at some point, but I may have just been confused.
I would have thought you would be confused. I wouldn't expect that.
Yes, it was quite hard to tell what was going on. We was in close press the whole time.
No. The craziness of battle gets the best of us. It's hard to keep track of most things, but clearly you kept your head. I saw you push the flank and cut across their lines, and that was what led to their routing, so good job.
Thank you, my lord. We had to be decisive.
Well, someone needed to be with Harold's, obviously, demise. That was why they struck that side, obviously. They thought leadership had fallen and it would be an easy rout on our right flank. But then he stands up and he, puts a hand on your shoulder. So clearly you took the lead well. And I commend you for it. I am to believe that you yourself are a Knight of the Emerald Order.
I have been knighted by the Order, but I'd find my current situation is outside the Order with our current quest.
I would think of a suitable commendation and reward for yourself. You led well, and you saved our right flank, so well done.
Thank you, my lord. Is there anything I can do for you in the meantime?
No, see to your men, see to those that you fought alongside, make sure they're rested, make sure they go get some food, some water, and they find some rest.
I will do, my lord. I'll give him a knightly salute.
Yeah, he gives back. I'll call for you. Don't worry.
Oh, I await your command. And I give him a little salute, and then I walk back. I make my way down to our wagon and our werewolf contingent.
Your wagon and your werewolf.
Yeah, I'll resecure my gold, and I'll get them to load up with water and food and supplies, and then start leading them back down to where all our wounded are.
Yeah, just Josiah's like a little bit on edge. He's a bit like, "Hey, yo, man. I mean, look the man down there. How's everything?"
I'm a bit weary around him. Like, I don't really want to talk to him. It's chaos, but you'll see for yourself in a moment. There's a lot of wounded people down there that need your help, Josiah. Get as much food and water as you can on the wagon.
Should we take the horses down there?
Yes, whatever we can carry. We need to get as much supplies down to those guys as we can.
Yeah. Okay. And he starts like loading up the wagon with Jimmy the werewolf, and Rachel's like hearing like the wounded need help. I'll go help her right away, and she like runs down to start helping with the wounded.
As we're working, Josiah, when we head down there, you should go find Randall as soon as you can.
Okay, man. Where is he?
He should be down the right flank where we're heading.
Okay. I'll look for him straight away.
Tell you what, give me that. I'll finish up here. You go over and find Randall.
He goes like, and he shoulders some of the waters. I'll take these at least, yeah.
Yeah, he could use them.
And he starts like jogging down. Jimmy looks at you. Everything all right, Casper?
Not exactly. It's a bit shit. But Andre's dead down there. I didn't have the heart to tell him.
Oh shit.
Yes. But there's no use getting caught up on it now. You need to keep yourself together. There's plenty of other people that need our help. We can mourn him in the next few days, once other people are saved.
He nods. Yeah, okay. He's a little bit stunned. Is like, you know, the guy's never really like lost, you know, people in battle or anything like that. And the guy's lost a lot of people close to him in the last couple of weeks. You know, he was tricked into murdering his wife and his two close friends. So,
I'll be his friend.
Yeah, he just goes, okay, and just the look of a broken man that's just accepted another loss.
Jimmy, pull yourself together.
I'm alright. I'm okay. And he starts, he just carries on packing the stuff.
I'm gonna quickly splash myself with water, I think, because I think I need to lose the blooded nutter look.
Yeah, you might want to like take the like dread helm off.
Yeah. There's a dying man who sees me leaning over.
Yeah, I think someone's come to take him to the afterlife.
Yeah, demon. Yeah.
So, you're packing up the stuff. Damien, Keith arrives to like give you a kind of like shoulder to lean on and limp with. Hello, boss.
You fucking look better than I do. Shit.
It's like he's got like a gash on his head that's like bleeding down, but otherwise he's all right. Yeah, you know. I came lucky.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
Fuck no, I didn't. It was a bitch to take this one down, and I'm just patting the makeshift bed that I've made out of this orc. Um, as this next time I decide to go rush in and take someone on 1v1, maybe stop me.
Ah, yeah, sure thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as you rushed at him, I thought you were dead. So, um,
I did too.
and
Yeah.
then I just got caught up with the rush that our boss man Casper was leading. And just got caught up in the swing of things. And by the time I looked back, and you were both down somewhere, and I thought you were dead. Um, so glad to see
Yeah.
you're alive, though.
Yeah, when he managed to take my first hit, I was like, ah, shit, that normally works. Um, it turned out I had to stab him twice.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Big guys
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah, learning,
Yeah, yeah.
step by step. Yeah.
Well, and he like gives out a hand. He's like,
Hmm.
come on then, let's get
Yeah.
you on that one good leg of yours.
Yeah, as I do get up, I also want to. In the art, he's got like a skull helmet thing. I just want to take that just as a like souvenir trophy.
Yeah, like I mean, he's there. Like his weapons are like strewn around on his like forearms. Um, he hasn't got much on him.
Hmm.
He's got his skull helm and he's got like this like fine looking belt. But they're the only two things other than his weapons, which obviously they are the weapons of Gora the Unchained. Um, like he's got his skull, like almost like tribal like helmet, and then the belt is it's almost like made up of like multiple like broken chains essentially that have been like tied around each other, and then there's like some gilded like buckle at the front. Um, he has multiple different weapons. Um, he's
I really
got
want. I'd rather Keith take all of that instead of me. Just saying, like, take these to Casper.
yeah, I mean, he's got like two axes. He's got like a cleaver like sword, and then he's got a kind of um, almost like a morning star, but it's not. It's like a crude version of one, more like a mace,
Hmm.
a spiked mace, shall we say? He goes, "You're gonna wear that."
The helmet is more of a trophy.
Okay.
Um, the
So,
rest of the stuff, I think maybe we should get to Casper,
um,
but also fuck this dude, and I'm just gonna kick him. Just like,
he goes,
"Ugh."
there you go. What, you want all of it?
I don't know how this shit goes. Just looking around at the army, like, do I get ownership because I killed this motherfucker? Like, or is this like some weird army shit where they just take the spoils of my victory? Like, how does this work?
There's a soldier nearby stealing someone's shoes.
Yeah. People take what they find.
I didn't. Yeah, fuck. We're taking all of this shit.
There was literally a guy like sizing up boots like onto his foot. He's like, "Oh, these will fit."
There's got to be
Takes
an,
off his like ruined ones.
my current favourite NPC in another one is a dentist who goes around to battlefields pulling out teeth to put in other people's heads.
Nice.
Um,
Cause yeah, just the weapons and like the belt. I would just be like, yeah, Keith, you can take that shit and bring it to Casper. But I just
Like,
wanted the helmet.
you're,
Just
you're
wanted that
kind of like
skull.
you're leaning on him, so he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay," and he like takes the helmet out of your hand and plonks it on your head. And he's like, "Okay," he like looks at you. Like, do you have do you have a belt?
I do.
Yeah, he like takes one of the weapons, like stuffs it in your belt.
Alright.
Takes that one, stuffs it in here. Like you've got two weapons stuffed in your belt. He's got two in his, and he just like takes the belt and just like throws it over his shoulder. He's like, "Come on then."
You know what? I'm I'm just gonna just hand over 5 silver to him. Like, I like you, Keith. You're good.
Oh, that's nice. I found 20 on this guy in the field over there. And he puts it.
Fuck yeah.
You hear it clink into his little pouch, and he ties that to his side.
Yeah, he has more gold. He has more silver than I do. It's great.
And you just paid him.
Yep, I like him. He's cool.
So he starts leading you back over to where you can hear a lot of wailing from a recognizable voice, because you've heard him wail when he himself is in pain. Yeah, you get closer and you see Randall wailing and crying over the body of Andre. His one shield broken next to him, the other one he's kind of like clutched to his chest, with Randall cradling his head.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, forgot to mention this.
Yeah.
I'll set you down near him. And he like shuffles you closer and just like lowers you to the floor.
Yeah, very much just like, yeah, I can't even like kneel with like my bad leg.
Yes, yeah, you
Just-
got to get straight.
Yeah, just basically just sitting down next to, kind of looking from like Andre to, Randall.
You see a fully grown man just crying. He is just constantly trying to just grasp onto Andre, trying to reposition him. His head is just buried down. He's not trying to hide his emotions, Randall. He is, as DM rightfully said, wailing. It's very exacerbated. Very vocal. He is crying out for his cousins every few minutes or so to see if they've made their way down.
Yeah.
Any bystanders or wounded men near him, he's in pure tunnel vision. He just sees blurs of blooded soldiers walking past him. At the moment, they're all unrecognizable faces. They're all just background mists to him. He's purely focused on the lifeless body of his cousin and crying out for his family.
I don't think, I think Damien knows that like there's probably nothing that, like if Damien was to say anything, it probably won't even like connect to Randall in this state. So he's kind of just hand on the shoulder and is just sitting there being present.
Not long after that, you hear a oh shit, no. As obviously Josiah comes running round. Oh no 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 no. As he just,
Randall locks eyes with Josiah's, and even though he was crying quite intensely and quite heavily, his eyes just turn into waterfalls. And he's at the point where his crying is so strong, he can't actually form a sentence. It's just, Josiah. He's breathing so strongly that the words just keep getting caught in his throat as he's just reaching out for Josiah to come to him.
yeah, Josiah just like leans in and like he starts like sobbing, like he's just like he's just swearing over and over again, just like I'm gonna kill him, man. I'm gonna fucking kill them all. Just getting angry, like it's like the different like types of grieving when you find it. Like he's like angry, you're like you know, just distraught. Just two different ways of grieving here.
Seeing his anger, even though there'll be a small amount of resistance, Randall is going to just like it's going to be quite loosely, and he's going to really try to like grasp at his clothes and bring his head into his shoulder as he's like trying to swear and curse at him. He's just really trying to bring him in.
Yeah, Like he accepts the embrace, but you can just feel him getting like quite riled up. It's like, let's go after them, man. We can't let this go.
I can't lose you too. No more. As he's just grasping Josiah so strong.
Josiah like leans back. It's like, what are we gonna say, man? When we get home, what are we gonna say?
Again, Randall is just in tears. Has J-Ron made it nearby yet?
Oh, J-Ron's way off.
Alright, well, Randall's going to go to Josiah. He's going to go into the other form of mourning. And he's going to go and go, it's all my fault. I should never have brought you on this journey. You should have stayed home.
What you talking about, man? We chose to be here.
You guys never followed me. You'd all be happy. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. And Randall starts slamming the ground out of anger now. He's gone into blaming himself.
Yeah. Casper, were you returning to where Randall was?
Yeah, no, he's kind of where my men of arms are, isn't he?
So you return, you do hear Randall going like, it's all my fault, like basically blaming himself.
Right, okay. Papa is coming.
I forget there's more family members here. Casper is an honorary welder.
I'll sing your national tune of Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves by Cher. A shadow casts itself over you. Casper looks down, takes a knee. Randall, you'll need to stop blaming yourself. Andrew... not Andrew. Shit! Fucked up his name! I didn't even know...
You could go back in time.
Andre chose to be here. He fought like a lion. Without him, look at these men here. A lot more would have been dead. He had a choice to be here, and he did. Look at me.
Randall's gonna lock eyes with Casper.
It's going to be okay.
Randall's going to grasp his plate. He's going to get his hands behind, the plate armor, like in the little cusp. And he's going to grab you and go, there shouldn't be any more deaths because of us. Too many men have fallen for this cause. This was meant to be our fight, Casper, not theirs.
Everyone is here from their own freedom. They know what we're doing is right. There's always going to be a cost.
And when will this madness end? How many more have to fall?
It's not for us to decide that. It's the plans of the gods. We're just here to fulfill their will.
And then Randall's going to look into the sky. And what mercy do you have for us? We'll carry out your will. We'll do what needs to be done. We'll see this to the end. But no more. Let my people go. I am now split in the Red Sea.
Just blood starts pooling up.
Locusts and
I marked a red
I am
X on my
saved
door.
the Egyptians from slavery.
I put a red X over my door. I'm having a Passover. It's all good. My firstborn son will not be killed. If we could find him.
yeah. I mean, I'm loving it. Loving it.
That's fine. I'm going to continue to yell into the sky. You want me to do your bidding? Give me a sign! I'm going to yell into the sky. Bear in mind, it's probably still raining.
If he keeps going wild, I'm just going to have to knock him out, aren't I? Give me a sign!
Okay.
Bear in mind my recent level up. I'm going to yell to the gods.
Strangely, it's. I mean, you know, for the probably less reverent of the gods, namely Damien, would just see this as pure coincidence. But Randall, you might see a sign in this, where as you like shout that and you're having your screaming fit at the gods in the sky, the clouds actually break. The sun gleams through. Not necessarily on you, but
I better not land right next to me.
On me?
I'm just going to like move into the glare like...
No, but it does shine somewhere to the west.
I'm going to look off to the west.
The mountains are in the distance.
And turn back to Casper. And so be it. They've spoken.
We know what we have to do.
I'm going to start looking around. Josiah. Where is J-Ron?
He's off with,
Yeah.
he's off with the cavalry.
Yeah, he was with that Steve man, yeah?
They've
Is
been
there
off,
no sign of cavalry?
I spoke to the Knight General. They're off gallivanting off in the wilderness. Like, I don't know where we brought him. To be honest.
Well, we'll have to make sure he's safe before we move on. But for now, we must pay our respects to Andrew.
Take your time
At
with
this
Andrew.
point, Randall's blurred vision before, like everything else, was moving past him in like slow to fast pace. He wasn't really focusing on that. He actually stands up and starts to acknowledge the bloodshed that is around him and the scenes that are actually near him. And he is just going to have to take a moment to do a panic view of what has happened. That's going to hit him.
I'm kind of organising our guys around, like offloading the water and food to people, and I'll grab Keith. Keith, why don't you help Randall and get Andrew's body on one of the wagons and get it into somewhere nicer?
Oh, yes, boss, yeah.
Good man. You fought well today. I pat him on the back.
Thanks. You're a menace, sir.
Always try to be.
You're like gr-
I see my little elven mate. Damien, you son of a bitch! And I'm going to shake his hand, looking at my bicep.
Very much like on the ground because I'm just sitting down because I can't. How did we win that?
Because you are lucky. And I like lucky men.
Well, Keith is leaving, but I mean, yeah,
Do you want to get
couple
out of
new
here?
weapons in a belt, and also just gestures to the helmet. Look who I killed.
I thought I saw that, but I thought I got hit in the head. I thought I was seeing things.
Yeah, turns out 2 stabs.
If I wish someone had told me that, I would have made the attempt myself. You fought well, from what I could see, or what I thought I saw. Tell me, little man with the scary new helmet, would you like me to put you on the wagon as well and get you out of here?
Yes, I can't walk.
Okay.
Gestures to the fucked up leg.
I pick him up like a toddler and like, put him on the wagon.
Just to delay the bag.
I'm also, like, as you pick me up, I'm also gesturing to, like, I guess the 2 weapons that I now have, and the 2 weapons in the belt that Keith has, and be like, I keep bringing you weapons.
I appreciate them as well. I will have a look at them when we get back to camp later, I swear. I'm just trying to get our men organized. Yeah. I'll seek out boars as well. I haven't seen boars!
Bors is like he's just like talking and laughing with like the surviving members of the men at arms he like took over.
I saved that motherfucker. He was facing.
I'm gonna go up behind Boars and like put big meaty hands either side of his shoulder. And as he turns around, I'm like, watch out, Boars, there's another orc!
It's like he like turns around like ready to like swing. It's you.
It's me, don't worry. You won't need the little elf to save you again.
Hairy stuff.
Yeah, I thought you was a goner. And then I saw Damien come and save your ass.
Nah, he didn't save me.
That's not what the men are saying.
Hey, the men like to lie. Hey, I saved all these guys.
I look at them. Is that true? You let this little man save you?
They're like, yeah, we love the little man.
He is my favourite dwarf, and I don't have many of them.
Only.
Yes, probably only.
Yeah, he looks at you like, I'm your only dwarf.
And that's why you're so special to me, boss. And I sent my little elf to save you. I gave him like a little hug, squeeze thing.
Hey, are we moving off quickly?
We got our mission to complete, don't you forget. But no, take the night. We've had a death. Andres, he died in the shield wall in that last push.
Aye. Bugger.
Yes, it's all a bit shit over that moment. I thought I'd come hang out with you guys for a little bit.
Hey, we've got some ale with us, so come share a skin with us.
You can tell me how you saved these men's lives.
Hey, I will. And he like starts regaling the tale of how Knight Commander Harold like got in combat with Gora, and then he saw him die, and someone had to take charge, and he had to do it. So he stepped up, despite being the smallest of stature. He was the bravest of them all.
He had the biggest
And
of
he led-
hearts.
He had the biggest of hearts, and he led them from the front. And yeah, he held the line despite against all odds. And he does admit that the elf did help a little bit.
The elf did. Well, boss, I'm so glad that you did well. And I ask you, make sure you regale this to Sir Steve when he gets back. Because he has no idea what actually happened in the battle.
Hey, anything you want me to add, like embellishments at all?
Ah, fuck it, chuck in a dragon or two.
Why don't we have a bar?
He like points at you. Hey, dragons aren't no life and matter.
What do you mean? Children's story.
No, they're not.
What are you talking about, boss? Have you been hit in the head?
Story for another time.
I look forward to it, my little friend.
And he kind of like grins, a little bit of like a sadistic grin. Like he's still like covered in blood as well. It's everyone's covered in blood.
I like that. They're just sitting round in the middle of the battle.
It's the dwarven way, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they continue drinking. They invite you to join them for a bit longer for a bit of wine, bit of ale, whatever they've got in their drinking skins. Meanwhile,
This
the wagons
is
are getting
orzo.
loaded.
Some orzo? Is that the Sambuca?
Hey, that's the good stuff.
Balls, what if... This is WK2 Blue.
You see Squire Tommy like hiding a couple of bottles away.
Hey, that's young Johnny's.
Johnny, where the hell did you get this?
He's my uncle's a tavern owner.
Right.
So-
That guy's just
So
pounding back with vodka Red Bull. He's going to be great off his tits.
Yeah. So yeah, you enjoy some beverages in the middle of the combat, and then eventually like a few heralds are walking through and basically like any man that is able to fit and able, please begin removing the dead. A pyre is being built at the top of the hill.
Oh, I don't-
All those are able, help move the bodies. Yeah, like balls like.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Let him rot. I mean, the orcs.
No, the orcs get left where they.
Uh, yeah, I'll go back. I'll help my men at arms
Yeah.
do that.
Is a pyre quite a traditional? Would you say it's probably the most traditional Green March funeral?
Yeah, a pyre is. However, you can have a different tradition in the Wilder clan if you wanted. If you want,
I don't think this has ever really been thought of.
I mean, you can make something up on the spot if you want.
I think a pyre is actually quite nice, to be honest. I think we would also go for a pyre.
I thought the Wilders pickled their dead.
Oh, what, shrink their heads?
Yeah, they.
They've got a couple of parts that are just mausoleums.
Yeah,
Basically.
and if you done pickled Andre, he would like turn into a normal sized person.
Sadly, there is no pickling
Of course there is.
facilities.
We've got rum.
No one's going to allow you to put him in a rum cask.
If it was good enough for Admiral Nelson, it's good enough for Andre.
Anyone fancy the drink?
It's
Oh,
like,
dead cousins in there.
Just a dreadlock comes out the tap.
Oh, no.
we had to cut him in half to fit him in.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so pyre's all right with you?
I imagine, so, yeah. The gypsies will have their own little separate ceremony when they return. Later, I'm sure.
Pickling the ashes.
Yeah, black ashes. We're not going to transport Andre back to.
I mean, he would start really smelling.
No, if we pickled him. We can FedEx him at that point.
I mean, Potter's postal service is still running.
Is it? Who's running it?
Hey, it's
Oh,
a massive,
I'm taking over.
it's a massive company.
I can't believe he's still going.
Well, when he died, it went over to whoever he named as successor, which is probably an alias of himself, or his mistress.
Did we ever? Oh, we should have found out who it went into. We could have pupped
Did you kill her as well?
too stealthy for that, mate. It was a very risky mission.
So yeah, she might be in charge of the most expensive company in the land.
At least we know who she fears the most.
Who's that?
So if the
Black
time
Arrow.
comes, we know where to get a favour.
Yeah, it's... Right, let's get these dead bodies. Let's chuck them on pyre. I need a sleep, because Casper's, like, exhausted. Casper's just running off adrenaline. It's just about to run out.
Yeah.
I would like to assemble
We all are.
my own fire. I don't wish to mix the ashes. I don't want to accidentally give Auntie Rochelle an orc.
None of the wildlanders are being put on the pyre.
I don't know, or some random squire then, you know, I'm gonna... Yeah.
Oh, so you want to build your own little pyre for Rod?
It's gonna have a good bit of flair to it.
Well, Knight General Eobard leaves the kind of funeral pyre service. Like he's holding a torch. He looks like to everyone, you're all lined up. Obviously, Andre's probably got his own little pyre to the side of the main one that you would have had to have build yourself, you and Josiah. Maybe Casper helped you as an honorary member of the Wilder clan. But all of the knight commanders, knight captains, Casper, for your men at arms, you are given the honour of bearing the torch that lights the pyre for them.
Yes.
Because you obviously ended up leading them. Even Bors is given the honour of burning the ones he fought alongside.
Boss, good guy.
He is. Damien, you would have been given some honour of burning the archers that died with you, but you can't walk. So that honour actually goes to Keith.
Yeah.
Keith,
So-
I was gonna nominate him anyways. Yeah.
Keith being an executioner doesn't care if they're alive or dead when he burns them. He's strangely proficient in this.
I don't think I lost any of my archers.
No, you were fairly safe on the left flank, but Damien was beset by some climbing orcs. But yeah, Knight General, he raises his torch up high. It's like it's getting dark at this point. We honour our dead this evening. Those who died to preserve the lands to the south. Those who died to save your wives, your daughters, your sons, your sisters, your mothers. These men gave their lives so that those monsters, that horde, could not reach them. They will live forever in the halls of glory. May Rowena lift them up. Send them to the soil so the new life may grow from their death. And he holds his torch up. Hail the dead. And he walks along and lights the torches of all the rest of you, and then you all walk forward, and you burn the pyres. Obviously, randomly have to do your own, and you all step back and watch the pyres burn, and eventually people trickle off. Casper, as you're like watching it for a little bit, you would notice that one of the farmer lads that you met in the pub is there. Tears in his eyes as he watches one of the pyres.
Oh.
He kind of like slumps to the ground as he just watches the pyre burn, and just sits down. And you see, like, there's a lot of guys that are doing that. Guys that have lost friends, brothers, even family. But yeah, obviously he's one of the ones you knew, one of the farmer boys. So,
I don't think I should get involved. You just need some space, I think. I'll head over to Andre's pyre and just pay my respects there. I think
Your respects are.
I'll stand next to you and we can sing your family song.
Yeah, would also likely limp over with the help of someone. Yeah, pay my respects and sort of after I'd been cleaned and just been like sitting away while everyone else was moving the bodies, I would have written out something on a piece of parchment, and yeah, I'll just hand that over to Randall and just watch the fire burn.
I will take said parchment.
It has this that I wrote.
It's just a drawing of a penis.
Okay. Well, Randall is going to open it. He's going to take a quick skim of it, and you're going to see a small tear come down his eye. He will then clear his throat and read from the parchment. A fallen shield. He marched to war with heart ablaze, his family by his side always. With double shields upon each arm, he'd face the enemy with calm. He fought with honor, fought with pride, defending all he held inside. His shield was his unyielding wall, steadfast barrier for all. But in the midst of battle's rage, he tears some more. His shield was shattered in that stage. His guard was down, his defense gone. He fell to foes he fought so long. We wept as the enemies withdrew, for he was brave and loyal too. His shield was gone, his life laid down. His legacy would forever crown. More tears start coming running down his face. For though he fell, spirit strong, and in his wake we march along. Our own shields raised, our hearts aflame. In his honor, we'll stake our claim. It's getting heavier and heavier. And so we fight, as he'd done, with shield and heart combined as one. And though he fell, he'd never die, for in our hearts his spirit's love. And he's gonna get everyone in for a team huddle for Andre. May the tyrant light lead him on.
Gasper nods.
Damon kind of just like nods, but then very kind of just leaves. This isn't really his scene. So he's just, here's a paper, and then walked off.
That's very much appreciated. Randall's pleased by the gesture.
That would have been even more awkward as well, because you'd have been like, here's the piece of paper. Like, Keith, take me away.
Fly, Keith!
Okay, yeah. Obviously, as the pyres like burn, they're burned for a long time, and you can stay there as long as you want. But obviously, the tiredness of battle, the battle fatigue, and everything begins to hit you, and you would all need rest. Some take to drink and merriment to honor the dead. You see like some set of some units, like especially like the men at arms, like those that Bors was with. They like making loads of toasts to the dead, whereas some like the levies are a bit more emotional and just exhausted, and kind of like retreat into their own and don't necessarily know how to handle it. They've never been to battle before. They don't know how to handle loss at this sort of situation.
Was there any standout people from my men at arms?
Well, like stand out in which way?
Like ones that fought very closely with me and like that were like noticeably by my side during like the charges and stuff.
Yeah, there'd have been a few guys that you would have noted.
I'll grab a couple of them, or the ones that were near me, and like invite them over to our camp to drink and start kind of like posing questions, like what they're going to do next, and see if I can tempt any into our little band of outlaws who are actually not outlaws anymore, legally
Um,
sanctioned.
Obviously, obviously a couple of them would be like Emerald Order guys. Some of the, obviously a lot of the men at arms were made up. Some of them were kind of like just local knights or local soldiers that were well armed enough to be put in the men at arms rather than the levies. So quite most of them are tied to either Knight General Eobard or Wolf's Watch or Wolves and Cheer. But tell you what, roll me a charisma check at advantage because your unit did very well. I know you're very, very bad at charisma.
Casper just stands there. He can't make eye contact with people. This giant of a man.
But-
By Lataran's like pamphlets.
Hi,
But if you're trying to convince people, then
hi, hello. Do you want to come on an adventure with me?
that's someone off the Undateables.
You and I are the same. Do you just want a flat charisma rolls? Sorry, charisma at advantage or something.
Charisma advantage. If you have proficiency in persuasion,
Do I
then-
look like a Cascadian with proficiency?
I don't know.
What is this shit? No, it's not bad.
Yeah, 16's not bad. We'll find out when you break camp whether people choose to join you, and you haven't yet received your accolades. But obviously, before the evening, like before you go, like take your rest, is there anything anyone else would like to do?
Do the elves return or not yet?
A few, like most of them would start like trickling into camp like during the like before the funeral pyres. They have their own like funeral rites and that
Yeah,
they
I
would
would
take.
I'd probably go. Probably also why I like just came to like deliver the letter and leave. I most likely would have been with the elves.
Yeah.
During that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been Keith. It would have been another elf that would have like brought me over, dropped off the letter, and then headed off. I think. Oh, good question. Did Aeon survive?
Hang on.
No, let's let me do a little quick GM roll to find out.
He's an insurance broker, Aeon.
Yes, he survived. He's suffered a couple of wounds, but he's all right. He's in better state than you are. So.
Oh, definitely. Anyone is in a better state than I.
Yeah. So it's he made it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have. Yeah, would have just checked in with the elves, see how, mainly just see how, how their side of the battle went. Inform them how our side of the battle went. Gesture to the cool new helmet I have, from killing an orc. Yeah. I think mostly we'll just be grieving with them, more than our party.
Okay. Yeah. So they only lost about 8 or so. So they're maybe down to, but obviously they've got maybe 4 or 5 wounded as well. So they're probably down to about maybe 35 serviceable mounted elves. That can continue with you. Obviously, like the elven kind of way, there's lots of like singing and like you gave your like poem to Randall. There's lots of that. There's lots of like music, singing, poetry. It's just a very different affair. Very somber still, but just in a different way. Some of you would have obviously seen, so Steve, J-Ron would have arrived for Andre's funeral pyre, and he would have reacted as you would have expected. There is his brother, and he has the kind of silent, like just goes glassy-eyed, doesn't say anything. Very different way of mourning to the other two of you, but he does it in his own way. He needs time to process. He did just lose his brother. So Steve, he's like busy with making sure Squire Tommy's okay, and yeah, he would have come over. He would have consoled you, Randall, offered his condolences, but he'd have given you space to mourn by yourselves. He avoided Casper for purely because I just can't be bothered to do any interactions to Steve with Casper.
Steve's a dick.
That's fair. Yeah.
He goes and he needs to be asleep, so he just goes to sleep early with in his tent.
Wow, so Steve, I bet you've had a hard day fighting in the front line of a battle.
He's just got a sore ass from riding all day.
I'm gonna also, before I forget, when there's a chance, I'm gonna go over to Randall, just hold my hand out, give it back, Randall.
Oh yeah.
Oh. They're thinking, what have I taken from you? I don't steal anymore, I'm a nice guy.
What did Randall steal that I can't remember?
Alright. It took me a while to get it to. I just got now.
Take the messenger bag off. And goes, we have to destroy this and everything else that goes alongside with it. I can't bear the burden of what it might do to my soul. You're a much more stronger man than I to carry this around for so long. I fear what it's doing to me. Take it. I want to know more. And I throw it back at you.
I thank you for looking after it and doing what needed to be done. But it is my burden to carry, and I will carry it till the end. And I put the bag back on. Right, let's go get fucking drunk.
And that is the Cascadian way of mourning. Hey, with that in full swing, we will finish it there and have a slightly shorter session so that Brandon can join us. I'll need to think about what we're doing next session because Randall's not with us next week because he's travelling to Deutschland.
Alan.
So yeah, that's where we finish.
Hey, thank you, Bender. I nearly said your name, but I didn't.
Well, my name's been mentioned so many times, it doesn't matter.
Who is he? What do you know?
I've introduced myself as my name. So.
Well, my name is Zanfari.
No, you're Mr. Party.
Ah, damn it, yes. You're called Krieger. Fentolnox called Terry.
Harry, yes.
Harry?
That's what everyone calls me.
There's
Yes.
classic Kiwi name Terry.
Harry.
Right, goodbye everyone. Bye.